Battle Through the Heavens, Chapter 50. Xiao Yan's Intervention and Xiao Mei's Apology. Last time, Xiao Yan navigated the fiery depths of the clan's cultivation hall, standing on the precipice of a momentous choice that would define his future. Now, having made his selection, he emerges, a new cultivation method clutched in his hand. What power has he unlocked, and what challenges await him as he steps back into the world?
Xiao Yan emerged from the room, the cultivation technique clutched in his hand. He met Xiao Shuner's gaze, a reluctant whisper escaping him.
You must trust me.
He stepped out, clansmen nearby still shaken. Xiao Yan shrugged, then waited for Xiao Shuner. Together, they walked away, shoulders almost brushing. 2 hours still stretched ahead. Xiao Yan and Xiao Shuner weren't rushing out. The Douqi chamber, usually off limits, was open. Curiosity tugged at them, pushing them to explore.
At a branching path, Xiao Shuner slipped into a small chamber. She emerged with a low-grade Huang-level Douqi technique scroll. Then, she and Xiao Yan continued deeper into the other passages. The Douqi chamber buzzed. It was the busiest day, no doubt. Every passage overflowed with people. Clansmen, faces flushed with excitement, hammered at shimmering light barriers. The air vibrated with their relentless assaults.
Xiao Yan watched the chaos, a faint smile playing on his lips. They turned down another narrow path. Xiao Yan checked the time in his head, then grinned at Xiao Shuner.
Come on, it's time.
Xiao Shuner nodded once, following Xiao Yan as he turned into yet another narrow passage. As they rounded the corner, Xiao Yan's brows drew together. Not far ahead, Xiao Mei stood, her red robes vivid. Her face was flushed, tight with worry. A shifting light barrier separated her from something within. She'd found a technique, it seemed, but couldn't break the seal. Today, Xiao Mei wore a striking red dress that accentuated her flawless features, making her captivating. But now, anxiety creased her brow. The slight frown on her pretty face stirred something in the young men around her. They looked ready to rush to her aid. Xiao Mei's heart hammered. Her father had given her this room's number, a hard-won secret pulled from a Douqi chamber attendant. He'd pressed her to get the technique inside. He swore if she found a Huang-level wind attribute Douqi technique, she'd shoot to the top of their generation. Failure was not an option. Her father had found the room, but he'd badly underestimated the barrier. Xiao Mei had been trying for nearly an hour, her fists aching, but the shimmering shield wouldn't yield. Other clansmen, drawn by her beauty, had offered help, but she couldn't accept. The barrier only allowed one attacker. Any more, and it would grow stronger. Now, the 2 hours were almost up. No broken barrier meant no technique. The thought of leaving empty-handed made her elegant eyes widen, tears gathering at the corners. It was a heartbreaking sight. Her eyes, brimming with unshed tears, swept over the young men around her. Xiao Mei gave a shaky, wry smile, then shook her head. Not far off, a figure moved. Xiao Yan, in his dark robes, hands clasped behind his head, strolled toward them with an air of utter calm. Despair clawed at Xiao Mei's gut. Tears stung her eyes. She bit her full red lips, her gaze pleading as she looked at Xiao Yan, silently begging for his help. The other youths, seeing Xiao Mei's distress, followed her gaze. Their eyes landed on Xiao Yan, their faces still, but a flicker of awe passed through them. The narrow path, bustling moments before, fell utterly silent. Dozens of eyes bore into him. Xiao Yan's expression remained calm. He walked straight past Xiao Mei, offering no words, no glance. Xiao Mei's red lips parted slightly. She watched Xiao Yan pass her by, a fleeting shock crossing her face. A self-deprecating smile touched her lips, and she shook her head. Memories of how she'd treated him years ago resurfaced. Any lingering resentment melted away.
Ah, this is retribution then.
She sighed, a soft sound. Her shoulders trembled. A tiny, suppressed sob escaped her, piercing the sudden silence. The youths around her watched Xiao Mei, a collective sigh escaping them as they shook their heads, their expressions somber. Still standing there, a quiet sob catching in her throat, Xiao Mei suddenly felt a shift in the air. She slowly looked up. Her tear-streaked face softened, a faint smile breaking through.
The young man who had walked past her now slowly turned back.
Move aside.
Xiao Yan said, his voice flat, his eyes briefly sweeping over Xiao Mei's captivating face.
Ah? Oh.
A shiver ran through Xiao Mei. Her entire body tensed, then relaxed. A joyful smile lit her face, and she quickly stepped aside. Everyone watched, hope stirring. Xiao Yan approached the light barrier, bending his body slightly, and let out a soft breath. His body stilled for a fraction of a second. Then, like lightning, Xiao Yan moved. His right leg shot up, a fierce blur, tearing through the air with a sharp whistle. His foot slammed into the light barrier. Ripples erupted, spreading out in an instant, then shattered with a violent crack before their eyes. Xiao Yan held the pose for a beat, then slowly lowered his leg. He gave his neck a small shake, then turned with calm indifference, heading toward Xiaoxuner across the way.
Cousin, thank you. I'm truly sorry.
Xiao Mei whispered, her voice barely audible as Xiao Yan walked past.
Mm-hmm.
Xiao Yan spared a glance for the girl, her former arrogance gone. He gave a faint nod, then walked away. The awestruck youths watched him disappear down the narrow path.